This next episode of Trivia in Chief is about our 34th president, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and his military experience. David Dwight Eisenhower was born in Texas in 1890. His parents were Ida and David Jacob Eisenhower. David Dwight was named after his father, but his mother soon realized people would begin calling him David Jr., despite having different middle names. In addition, she felt two David to be confusing. To solve this problem, Eisenhower's name was flipped to Dwight David Eisenhower. Eisenhower grew up in Kansas, where he became known as Ike. He was appointed to the U.S. Military Academy, which horrified his pacifist mother. Eisenhower graduated in 1915 and was stationed in Texas. During his early time of military, he would be stationed in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New Jersey. At the outbreak of World War I, Eisenhower was requested to serve overseas, but he was instead placed in charge of a training camp. Eisenhower would never see active combat during his entire military career. After the war, Eisenhower was promoted several times. From 1927 to 1929, he served under General Pershing. In 1929, he was transferred to serve under General MacArthur. Eisenhower became well known for his writing abilities, and William Randolph Hearst unsuccessfully attempted to hire him as a military correspondent in the 1930s. After Pearl Harbor, Eisenhower was chosen to work on Allied war plans. He commanded the Allies during Operation Torch, when North Africa was invaded. He later commanded the invasion of Italy. In 1943, Eisenhower was made a full general. He then commanded troops at D-Day and led the liberation of Paris. At the end of the war, he returned to the United States a hero. In 1948, he resigned from active duty when he became president of Columbia University.
Mr. Chairman, members and friends of Columbia University.
He disliked his time as president and gladly accepted the position of Supreme Allied Commander of NATO in 1950. Despite this, he remained president of Columbia until 1953. In 1952, Eisenhower announced he would be running for president as a Republican. He promised to end the Korean War and slow the Cold War. He also used the popular campaign slogan, "I like Ike." Because of his World War II popularity, Eisenhower won the election by a landslide. He was inaugurated in 1953. 6 months after entering office, he negotiated the armistice ending the Korean War. Back in 1938, President Roosevelt started a presidential retreat in Maryland called Shangri-La. When Eisenhower entered office, he decided Shangri-La was too fancy, so he renamed it Camp David after his grandson. Eisenhower also installed a putting green at the White House, but the area squirrels proved a menace. In 1955, while on vacation in Colorado, Eisenhower had a heart attack. He spent 2 months in the hospital, while Vice President Richard Nixon ran cabinet meetings. After recovery, Eisenhower ran a successful re-election campaign. In 1956, inspired by the Autobahn of Germany, Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, creating what is today called the Eisenhower Interstate System. In 1957, Eisenhower became the first president to ride in a helicopter. In his second term, Eisenhower became a supporter of civil rights and helped desegregate Southern schools. He also signed into law the first civil rights law since Reconstruction. Eisenhower stepped down in 1961 and retired to Pennsylvania. He developed a hobby of painting and passed away in 1969. Dwight D. Eisenhower is considered one of the most influential presidents of the last 75 years, and played an important role in World War II. The next president was John F. Kennedy. Thank you.
Thank you.